And then there's the case of the Houston Texans. So you got George Springer wants, he's not coming back, and then Harden's doing this. Then you got the Houston earlier in the day before Harden says, this is not going to work here. I'm out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
You know, in the same way I think Mark Dalton was kindly saying after the Bears are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook. Thanks, Coach. Matt Leinart will be next.
Matt Leinart will be next.
One of my favorite PR lines off mic of all time. But so
PJ Tucker is next.
Before all this happened with Harden, just when you thought that the hustle and flow of the NFL news media cycle had taken the Deshaun Watson story down a notch after all that happened last week, where he's not happy, and the owner's like, I can't wait to have him get back to me once he gets back from vacation. And then Mort goes on ESPN and says he would definitely go to Miami if that could happen. And Ian Rappaport's saying he's just not happy with the process. And then, you know, as we mentioned when John McClain of Houston Chronicle came on, I'm like, hey, John, you know he's talking to Mahomes. You know this. We know this. We know he's talking to Mahomes. How have the Texans not asked for Eric Bieniemy of the Chiefs, the only team to not ask for Eric Bieniemy of the Chiefs to come and interview for their coaching vacancy? Only one with a coaching vacancy who has not reached out to Eric Bieniemy. Hey, guess who reached out to Eric Bieniemy like way too late? Finally, this week. Eric Bieniemy. I just know, like, the Texans did it. I just know this. When I'm hoping somebody calls me back, okay? When I hope somebody calls me back and reaches out to me, and then I look down on my phone, and during the Rich Eisen Show, somebody's calling me back. I know they have no intention of actually connecting with me. They just want to check the box. If I got back to you.
Sure, I called you.
Call me when you know I'm unavailable. They wait just until the Chiefs finally have a playoff game week to reach out to Bieniemy. Not when they have the bye.
Right.
No.
Not when he's doing all his interviews.
We'll just finally get around when he knows the Browns are coming with Myles Garrett and so on and so forth. Okay. Guess who stirred it up even worse after all this? Andre Johnson, who never says a word. Like, literally, I've been around him, and this is not because he's not a nice guy or a great guy.
No,
He's just a man of few words. He just doesn't say a lot. He tweets out yesterday, if just out of the blue, right? By the
way, so his last tweet that wasn't an ad for Crown Royal, okay, was April 23rd, 2009.
Oh my God. So on January 12th, 2021, not even responding to anyone, he just takes to Twitter.
Yeah.
If I'm an @Deshaun Watson, I will stand my ground. The Texans organization is known for wasting players' careers. Since Jack Easterby has walked into the building, nothing good has happened in/for the organization. And for some reason, someone can't seem to see what's going on. Pathetic 3 exclamation points.
3.
And you know who the somebody who can't seem to see what's going on is the owner, Cal McNair. I mean, who else has been around that long? Who else is the one? It's not Nick Caserio. It's
right.
It's the owner. Oh my God. To say these words carry weight is an offense to the concept of gravity. I mean, the guy never says anything.
Never.
He's the all-time lead. Like, if you name top 5 Texans of all time, J.J. Watt's on the list. And you can have an argument he's 1B to Andre Johnson's 1A. Oh, my God.
Just out of nowhere.
I'll say this, man. whoever they hire as coach, this is the most important hire for this team, maybe in their franchise history. Forget about Dom Capers when they first started off, and forget about their first coach and anybody else. This is the most important hire right now. Because if Deshaun Watson does not stick around or forces his way out a la Harden or whomever, this organization will not recover. It's that simple. They got to hire the right guy to put the fire out. And they got to get Deshaun Watson on the phone and talk to him about it. And yes, empower a player in a certain way that usually he does not get empowered about talking about a coach. It's that simple. Because the executive vice president of football operations, Jack Easterby, has clearly rubbed a ton of people there the very wrong way. And the owner clearly believes in this guy in a way that Deshaun Andre Johnson says he does not see. And this coaching hire is as important as any that the franchise may ever see, because that coach has got to look this kid in the eye and say, you're my guy. And forget everything else. I'm here. I'm empowered. I'm your guy. You're my guy. Let's go. I don't know who that guy is. I know they're talking to Jim Caldwell. I know everybody from Detroit and whatever thinks that guy is retread or whatever. I think he's perfect. He's perfect. He comes with the imprimatur of Peyton Manning, and he comes with the success in Detroit. He comes with Tony Dungy's backing, and he could look this kid in the face and say, son, I've been there, I've done that. Let me put my arm around you. Let's go. Other guys can do that too, but they better call number 4 and say, what do you think?
Rich, do you know Deshaun was at the Laker-Rocket game last night? Did you see him sitting there?
I did not.
Yeah, he was in attendance at the game yesterday.
Are you allowed to be there? Is that what he?
They had. I mean, there was a smattering.
Was George Springer there too?
I didn't see him necessarily, but Deshaun was definitely there. They had a few
Vacation's
fans.
over. That means he's reachable. That means we assume he's talked to Cal McNair. So no, I did not see that part.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Look, man, he is all that plus biscuit. Make sure he's happy, because clearly something's going on that Andre Johnson, out of the blue, decides, you know what, I'm going to tweet something out.
For the first time since Winbrook?
That has nothing to do with whatever alcohol that he's sponsoring. You saying it's the first time that tweet tearing apart the organization that he represents and represented for so long. This tweet that's on the screen, sent just a few minutes after noon, our time, Pacific time. So right around 2 o'clock Central, if that's where he's sitting. Yeah, I'm going to do. He must have heard something, and he's just like, I'm going to grab the phone. Or do you think, like, could somebody like Deshaun saying, hey, do it, or somebody do it, or whatever, I'll stand my ground? Like, what ground is it that he's standing on? Like, what does this mean? He's going to call out a front office guy by name, and he's going to infer, not by name, the owner is asleep at the switch. Pathetic. Honestly, I have spoken to Andre Johnson many times, okay? I interviewed him on Texans Cam a handful of times. It was a tough interview because he doesn't say a lot. His play did all of his speaking. And for a wide receiver in the National Football League, in the aughts and early teens, that was, shall we say, an outlier. For him to do this, I do not even know what 3 exclamation points sounds like from his mouth. It must be the loudest ever. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.